Right now, Iran is on fire. Not metaphorically, literally burning in the streets. Over 2,500 people confirmed dead in just 2 weeks of protests. The internet's been shut down for over 156 hours. And President Trump is being presented with military strike options targeting Iran's nuclear facilities. This isn't just another Middle East crisis. This is the culmination of 70 years of conflict. And we might be watching the final chapter unfold in real time. I'm going to walk you through exactly how we got here, what's really happening right now, and where this is heading. Because the decisions being made this week could reshape the entire Middle East. Chapter 1, 1953, the coup that changed everything. To understand today, we need to go back to August 19, 1953. In the early 1950s, Iran had a democratically elected prime minister, Mohammad Mossadegh. He did something that sounds simple, but was huge at the time. He moved to nationalize Iran's oil that had been dominated by British interests for decades. Britain pushed back hard, and the United States, worried about instability and Cold War politics, joined in. In 1953, the CIA and Britain's MI6 backed a covert operation to remove Mossadegh from power and strengthen the Shah, Iran's monarch, as a pro-Western leader. The operation was called Ajax by the CIA. This one event created something permanent in Iranian consciousness, a deep generational distrust of America. Every Iranian knows this story. It's taught in schools, it's repeated in families, it's felt by people who believe the US never truly accepted Iranian independence. It's the foundation of everything that came after. Chapter 2, 1979, Revolution and the Hostage Crisis. Fast forward to 1979. After years of anger toward the Shah's rule, seen by many Iranians as authoritarian and backed by Washington, the Iranian Revolution explodes. The Shah falls. A new Islamic Republic takes shape. Then comes the moment that permanently burns the US-Iran relationship into public memory, the Iran hostage crisis. Revolutionary students seized the US embassy in Tehran and held 52 Americans hostage. The crisis lasted 444 days, from November 4, 1979 to January 20, 1981. For Americans, it was humiliation on live television every single night. For many Iranians, it was revenge for decades of foreign interference, especially 1953. From that point on, enemy wasn't a metaphor. It became official policy. The US cut all diplomatic ties. They've never been restored. This history isn't ancient. It's alive in every decision both countries make today. Chapter 3, the 1980s, War, Fear, and Deeper Hostility. Soon after the revolution, Iran is pulled into the brutal Iran-Iraq War, lasting from 1980 to 1988. 8 years of hell. Millions of lives were affected, and the region was reshaped. Here's what mattered. Iraq invaded Iran, and the US supported Iraq. So did the Soviet Union. So did most Arab states. Iran fought alone. The conflict hardened the belief in Tehran that Iran was surrounded, isolated, and targeted by the entire world. Meanwhile, Washington increasingly saw Iran as a destabilizing revolutionary power spreading chaos. This created another layer, not just distrust, but a belief in Iran that survival means never depending on anyone. Chapter 4, the nuclear issue becomes the main battlefield. Over time, the nuclear program became the central symbol of the conflict. From the US perspective, and especially from Israel's perspective, the fear is straightforward. Iran could reach the capability to build a nuclear weapon, which would shift the balance of power in the Middle East forever. From Iran's perspective, the logic is also straightforward. After decades of threats, sanctions, and wars around them, nuclear capability looks like the ultimate deterrent, something that makes regime change impossible. In 2015, the world saw the biggest diplomatic breakthrough in decades, the JCPOA, also known as the Iran nuclear deal. The goal was to ensure Iran's nuclear program stayed peaceful in exchange for sanctions relief. Iran agreed to limit enrichment, reduce stockpiles, and allow unprecedented inspections. In return, they got access to frozen assets and international trade. For a moment, just a moment, it looked like the US and Iran might step back from the cliff. Chapter 5, 2018. The trust breaks again. Then in May 2018, Trump pulls out, calling it the worst deal ever made. He launches maximum pressure, crushing sanctions designed to bring Iran to its knees. Here's what happened next. Iran was no longer bound by the deal's restrictions. They started enriching uranium again. They currently have 440 kilograms of 60% enriched uranium, just one step away from weapons-grade material. In Tehran, the message many heard was clear. Even if Iran signs a deal, even if Iran complies, the US can still walk away when politics change. Deals mean nothing. In Washington, the message many heard was, Iran can't be trusted to stop expanding influence and capabilities. Maximum pressure is the only language they understand. The trust was gone, and it's never coming back. Chapter 6, 2020. The Soleimani strike and proxy war reality. In January 2020, the US killed Qasem Soleimani, Iran's most powerful general and the architect of their entire regional strategy. Soleimani wasn't just a military commander. He was the builder of what Iran calls the Axis of Resistance, a network of allied armed groups across the Middle East. Hezbollah in Lebanon, $700 million a year from Iran, 150,000 rockets pointed at Israel, Shiite militias in Iraq, armed, trained, and funded by Iran. They've attacked U.S. bases over 100 times. The Houthis in Yemen, launching drones and missiles at commercial shipping. Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad, funded and directed by Iranian intelligence. When Trump ordered that drone strike near Baghdad airport, killing Soleimani, Iran responded with direct missile strikes on U.S. bases in Iraq. It was the first time in decades Iran directly attacked American forces, not through proxies, direct. This is the part many outside the region miss. Iran and the U.S. often don't fight directly. They fight through networks, allies, militias, and political influence. That's why tensions can jump from Iraq to Syria to Lebanon to the Gulf in a matter of days, because it's all connected, and Soleimani built that system. His replacement made it clear. If the U.S. strikes Iran, all these groups hit back. That's not a threat. That's the architecture. Chapter 7, 2025. The strikes that broke the taboo. Last June, Israel launched Operation Midnight Hammer, 6 B-2 stealth bombers, 12 bunker-buster bombs hitting Iran's main nuclear facility at Fordow, 30 cruise missiles striking Natanz and Isfahan. They said they destroyed Iran's nuclear program, but they didn't. U.S. intelligence later admitted they only set it back a few months. Iran's already rebuilding, in new, hidden locations. But here's what really changed. For the first time ever, Israel directly struck Iranian territory. The taboo that held for decades was broken, and Iran's response was surprisingly weak. A few missiles that mostly got intercepted. That made them look vulnerable, and that weakness matters, because it encouraged more pressure. Chapter 8, December 2025. Economic collapse meets crackdown. Then, on December 28th, protests exploded across Iran. The immediate trigger? The currency collapsed. The Iranian rial lost 580% of its value in a single year. Food inflation hit 72%. Gas prices jumped 67% overnight. But this isn't just about economics. This is about a broken social contract. For decades, Iranians accepted authoritarian rule in exchange for one thing: stability, economic survival, the ability to feed your family. That deal is shattered. People can't afford bread. They're sleeping on rooftops in summer because they can't pay for cooling. They're paying for cooking oil in installments. The government's response? Live ammunition against unarmed protesters. 2,500 confirmed dead. That's the conservative count. Local activists say it could be 12,000. Some reports go as high as 20,000. We can't verify because the internet's been shut down for over 156 hours. 18,000 people arrested. Forced confessions on state TV, mass graves. This is a regime fighting for survival, and that makes everything more dangerous. Chapter 9, January 2026. Trump's decision. Trump sees an opportunity. He's publicly backing the protesters, saying help is on the way. Last week, the Pentagon presented him with 3 options. Option 1, cyber attacks on Iran's security services and limited strikes on nuclear facilities. Option 2, a broader campaign hitting nuclear sites, missile factories, and Revolutionary Guard command centers. Option 3, a sustained air campaign designed to cripple Iran's military capabilities entirely. Meanwhile, the U.S. is withdrawing personnel from Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar, where 10,000 American troops are stationed. Commercial airlines are rerouting to avoid Iranian airspace. India, Spain, and the UK are telling their citizens to leave Iran immediately. These aren't normal diplomatic measures. These are war preparations. And Iran's proxies have made it clear, if the US strikes, they strike back. That means attacks on US bases in Iraq, Qatar, Saudi Arabia. Attacks on Israel, possibly closing the Strait of Hormuz, through which 20% of the world's oil passes. This doesn't stay contained. This becomes regional. And you can watch this play out in real time on prediction markets. Polymarket is a crypto prediction market where people bet real money on real outcomes. The price of a yes share works like an implied probability. If it trades at 30 cents, the market is basically saying 30% chance this happens. Right now, traders are pricing this conflict. Immediate US strike this month? Strike within the next 3 months? Full regional war by year's end? This isn't speculation or punditry. This is people risking actual money on outcomes. And right now, the smart money says escalation is coming. Whether it's limited strikes or something bigger, the question isn't if, it's when and how far. I leave the link on Polymarket below. So why does the US-Iran conflict feel endless? Because each side carries a different origin story. For Iran, it starts with 1953. For the US, it starts with 1979. Add nuclear fears, regional proxy warfare, and decades of sanctions, and you get a relationship where every new crisis reactivates old traumas. And that's the core idea. Every escalation today isn't just about today. It's also about arguments that began decades ago and never truly ended. The decisions being made right now in the White House, in Tehran, in Tel Aviv, will determine whether this 70-year conflict finally breaks into open war or finds some way to step back from the edge one more time. We're watching history being written. The question is, what will that history say? Like and subscribe if you want more videos like this. I cover finance, sports, and politics with real context and no fluff. See ya.